Yeah.
I'm still a little bit, and people will probably be like, F you, Clint, but I'm still a little bit not unsure of where I sit on the whole sports thing.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of us that feel the same way, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't know. I remember an argument I had in my gender studies class at Missouri State with Castor Samea when she had she had higher levels of testosterone that was going to put her, and she's
intersex.
She was intersex.
DSD.
But her identity where she competed, that's where she was. And I remember in this gender studies class, I just kind of took it as in that moment, I'm like, well, what's the big deal? Seems like she has a kind of a unique advantage. That's kind of all I felt, because at the time, Michael Phelps also had a unique advantage in his body and his length and how it moved. And people made comments on how, like, he had like a very unique body and the way it moved in the water, and it's how it was. And so I thought, well, we support Michael in his unique genetic ability, and in this situation, like, why are we not? And there was a kid, he just could not see the end. He was just like, she either needs to compete. She needs to set it out. Sorry. And I'm like, that's your solution? Then you're obviously not thinking too hard about how we can incorporate it better. And so it isn't going to be a quick, easy fix. It's going to take this research to understand, like,
it is.
It's not that simple. It is not that simple. And I'm so glad to hear from a clinician that, and I hope people hear this and know that this is going to be complicated for some time. And I want to believe that people are starting to detach more from seeing that the morality issue is just nothing than a far fundamental person's like, listen, not a lot of people really think like the Westboro Baptist Church anymore. Not a whole lot within certain areas, of course, where there are some caveats, but like I'm so glad to hear there's going to be more research to know how do we do it.
You're going to see a lot more. And again, that's not a topic that's good, because it's the debate between inclusion and fairness and where they divide. And that's a hard one. And it's one that I don't want to have. Like, I don't put me on that panel. Like, I don't want to be on there, because again, that's a hard one. And I get it. I understand. And so
you might need to be on that panel.
I don't know. That'll be a fun one. I'm going to piss off my community no matter what I do. So it's just,
so you're going to piss them off, and at the end of the day, it's like, what are you so pissed off about? And the things that I get back are, you're trying to deny my truth. You're trying to take this away. And that's been the last year. I go, I have no idea how I'm trying to take your truth and I am taking the factual realities that you experience, and I am taking them away from you. I am physically trying to get you to detach from your reality. Like, that could not be further from what I'm trying to do.
I know. And the thing is that we can't sit down and just have conversations about controversial topics without being so dug in, so angry, so heated. And I'm okay with having this. Like, I'm invited to be on a panel with, do you know Dr. Deborah So, that did the book, The End of Gender? KU's going to host an event coming up this fall. And like, she's a brilliant researcher. The End of Gender. Yeah, the end of, I'll send you a link for it.
Yeah.
I've got it. But I've got the book sitting in the other room I could grab if you want me to kind of show it up. But anyway, so, you know, and I've listened to her podcast. She's brilliant. And again, it's like those people that just argue from the biological side of sex. You're right. I know what my biological sex is. There's no doubt about that. But this isn't about biological sex, you know, and this is about we go from one building on campus to another building on campus. This is a social science, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make it any less science. It just, it's still science, and I am who I am. We just moved to a different building on campus. And so the reality is that it just, but people can't get over that, that sixth grade science mentality of XXXY. Well, it's a lot more complicated than that. But then they want to say, well, if you put out the anatomical anomalies, and they want to put them off to the shelf and just say, then there's just males and females. Yeah, but you just took away that whole segment of the population, which is massive in the intersex DSDs, and and those that have other conditions, others that have other ways that they were just born, right? And when I say conditions, not in a pathological condition, it's just the way they were born. It's who they are. No different than you being born a cisgender male. It's just how you were born. No different than me being a transgender female, right? I know what my biological sex is, but my gender identity, and they try to lop in gender with sex. It's not the same, right? Yes, sex is one thing, gender is another. And again, it's that argument that they want to have constantly, but it is not the same. And my gender identity is one thing, my gender expression is another. My gender expression is this: I wear blue jeans and a t-shirt. I wear running shoes. That's what my gender expression is. Like, you are not going to see this 260-pound trans in Vans walk down Main Street in a dress. I just want you to know, well, right now, that's not going to go well. I got to walk by the Baptist church. That's not going to go well either. So I still live kind of this curated version of what I can, and still live a version of me that it's still just what society expects.
Do you want to wear dresses?
Oh, hell no.
Do you not like them?
No. I wore them as a kid, though. I mean, I started wearing.
I wore them as a kid, but it was like, do you want to wear? Do you want to wear dresses? Yeah.
No. Like my friend, I'm like, give me a pair of skinny jeans and rolled cuff jeans. I'm game, right? Like, I'll roll with that any day. Give me a cardigan on top of a cute tee. Like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But I don't like dresses. I would be the mask version of me. And so it's just, but that's where I'm at on my gender expression. And again, we're all different. Whereas some trans women or some trans men, they just float. And again, it is a spectrum. It's not concrete, and it can change day to day. And like I said, I wear t-shirts, I wear hoodies, I wear I'm just me, right? Like, I'm not trying to, because they always say, well, trans females are just trying to fit this feminine aesthetic. Like, yeah, I like wearing makeup, but some days, not all days. Like, I'm just who I am, who I've always been. It's just, when I started gender affirming hormone therapy, it's like someone turned on a dimmer switch, but turned it up to full blast. So I knew it's like the light came on for the first time. I wasn't dim anymore. I was me. And so it felt good. And like, this is who I am. It's always who I meant to be, because my hormones were finally right. The balance of where they were supposed to be. So I feel good.
I'm glad.